Welcome to the Nice Hair Podcast. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Haley.
We are two girls committed to being nice,
To hair and business.
and to keeping it real.
Yeah, that was
You gotta
good.
do it for real.
Oh, okay, yes. sorry.
Into the lens, make
Okay.
sure it's flat.
Flat, like that.
Yeah, and
Hold it.
open.
Open,
And there we go.
Gosh,
action.
that's so professional.
Wow, I think that means we're officially official.
Is that a successful habit? I
Girls,
can't.
we leveled up today.
We truly did. We truly leveled up our
I'm just making sure my
video
hair,
game
my hair's good.
and
Oops,
our.
sorry, booby.
We got a dog.
We have a special guest star today. His name's Bobby.
Bobby, get in here, or you get in here. I mean,
He,
Sorry. Oh, that's a boomerang.
This is going to be very interesting for the guys that are only listening.
I'm sorry. We can. Cut
they're
it
gonna
back.
hate
No, we can cut it back.
every part of this. Okay.
I don't think we should. I think we should make them suffer because Bobby.
Well, yeah, Bobby's here. I don't know if you'll be able to see him at all, but he'll probably be up and moving around. So this would be a good episode if you haven't watched our YouTube yet. This would probably be the episode because you'll probably see little Bobby's head like popping up and floating around. He's my foster dog that I intend on keeping.
Yeah,
So-
when you said foster, I was really confused. I was like, "Boo boo, she keeping the dog." I told Derek, I was like, "Haley got a dog," and then I read that it said foster, and I was like, "That doesn't make sense."
Yeah, you're like, so Haley got a dog.
yeah. I was like,
Doesn't matter that the word foster is in front of
"No, what?"
He's an angel.
He really is.
Yeah. He came from Louisiana.
Yeah, tell me that story real quick.
He's a Cajun boy.
I know. I was wondering actually if he would bark with an accent, but he doesn't.
He's like barking. The word bayou slips out.
Or like y'all.
He's like scrimp.
I know. So he is
He just tried to nibble on me. He
I
wanted
know.
to get my attention.
he's
It's
a
okay.
nibbler. He's a 7.5-year-old Belgian Malinois from Louisiana. And he's a cranky old man,
I don't feel like he's cranky.
much like Dylan. Dylan would probably disagree with you. But he is really sweet. He actually, like, when he met Hannah, he ran right up to her, and I think he thought she was me.
Because
for a second.
then I
He
had a
was-
treat in my hand, and he was facing me, and I told him to sit down. He literally turned around and faced Haley and sat down.
And sat down and was like waiting. So Hannah had to like.
I was
reach in
like, she
front of
doesn't have the treat. I do.
It was cute. So he's our new podcast pet. So he's here to hang out for the day. I actually just felt bad leaving him by himself. So he came with.
No, I think he should always be here.
Well, I would like that. We just have to see how he does today.
They say it's healthy to bring dog. Like if you're able to bring a dog to work, it makes you more productive because it like. Remember when
you're
you're
happier?
Yeah, and you're not rushing home to like let your dog out, and
I believe that.
yeah, and it feels like a little piece of home with you.
He is a little
And
piece of home.
it's like you don't want to bring your kid to work, you know. It's just distracting.
They need way too many things.
Yeah, because phones die, and then the iPad dies.
Yeah, and then they get
you're like,
hungry
yeah, I know.
and they complain. They're bored.
Hey, baby.
So, yeah,
So this is a successful habit that we have is bringing Bobby in now.
I agree. I feel so much more relaxed.
We're talking about habits for success today, or habits that successful people have.
And we're just going to kind of talk about the things that we've incorporated into our lives. And obviously, for me, like I go in waves with this, but it also, my productivity goes in waves when the things that I love doing, my habits that I know are super important, when I let them go sideways, everything else starts going sideways too.
I think too, when people are looking for ways to be successful, or they're like, what's the recipe for success? I think number one, that's such a layered question, because it's like success comes from repetitive, like good habits, essentially. Mm-hmm. And those are like so hard to do on a daily basis. Like it's just literally, that's the reason like 10% of people in any given industry will be successful and the other 90 won't, or whatever.
Right.
Because those 10% of the people are the only people that like will actually do the boring shit every day, day after day after day.
Right.
Not boring shit. You can make like, I don't know. I think it's like a journey that you're just always on. Sorry, my phone's on. A journey that you're always on that like never ends.
Yeah, I agree. It is huge. Just starting good habits, starting a routine. You just know, like when your routine's off, everything's off. And I think that like people can say that across the board, whether they have habits or whatever. But when you establish a routine that you like and habits, you're creating those, incorporating those into your everyday, and then something throws that off, it throws everything out of whack.
And I think there's a separation too between like business habits. Like when people message us on Instagram or email us and they're like, hey, can I pick your brain? Or do you have advice for me? I think there's a difference between having business like strategies or business systems or business habits.
Agree.
And then, but underneath that, the foundation of that is having personal habits, I think, because you can't have one without the other. Like they are symbiotic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. I don't truly think, I mean, at least for me personally, until I actually started changing some of my personal habits in my life, I wasn't able to reach certain business goals that I wanted.
Well, I think of it this way. When I was in my early 20s and going out and partying all the time and just rolling into work hungover, like that was exciting. That was what was fun for me at the time. I didn't even business goals, that wasn't even on my radar.
Right.
Like, so to even be thinking like this isn't helping me achieve anything, I was going to work. Like I was doing my job. So to me, I was like, well, yeah, I'm doing fine. Like I'm just getting up, I'm going to work. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
But then you're like living to go out for like after work drinks.
Right.
So
I think you can show up even to work and not realize that those
like
personal habits
things
that you had like the night before or whatever, going out and getting wasted, you don't even realize like how that affects your business the next day, like how fuzzy your brain is or how clumsy your hands are, or
you move so much slower. You're like,
you just nibbled my thumb again. I think that's a nibble love of nibble.
I don't know. He's needy.
And that, I mean, I know it sounds like very adult and very serious of us, but I mean, those are things that if you are truly looking to succeed, I honestly believe, I mean, some people have better self-control and better moderation than others, but I think there's certain like physical or like meal habits or drinking habits or whatever that you really have to strip down and like honestly take a look at.
Yeah.
And think like, you know, is this something that's going to take me where I want to go? And if it's not, maybe I should look into modifying it, like seriously.
I know for me, without even necessarily realizing what I was doing, when I became more disciplined, I've always been into like fitness. I played sports all growing up, you know, elementary, middle school, high school, and then even after. And I know he's
all right.
He's like,
Ow, 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 ow.
Did he just bite you?
Yeah. He didn't know what I was doing either, though.
He's like weird with his paw.
Yeah, I know. It hurt him. It's okay.
Are
Hey.
you okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He didn't break the skin.
Dude.
You're okay. I know. I touched your paw and you didn't like it.
Lay down. Go away.
Go lay down. Good boy. He didn't want me touching his paw.
Go lay down.
He's fine.
Are you like freaked out?
No, he's fine.
Okay. You're cranky. Lay down.
I think he's old and probably has arthritis in his paws. Also doesn't know me, doesn't want me
Stuck.
touching his paws.
So this is a part we can just chop right out.
Yeah.
You can just unhook him and let him wander around if you want.
Afraid if he was gonna like. Just go lay down.
A lot of dogs are like that, honestly.
Are you? Let me see.
No, you're fine. He didn't break my skin. He's
I
fine.
have a bruise.
It's fine. He got the meaty part of me. I'm fine.
Anyway, since we're cutting, I texted you guys and said, look at the camera more.
Oh, okay.
Engage the audience. You guys are like looking down.
I was like, sorry, my phone's on. It was Dylan.
Dylan says, "Pay attention to the camera."
No, I'm an adult. Anything with a mouth can bite. I touched his paw. He wasn't comfortable with that. I'm completely fine with respecting his space. Also, don't know his backstory. Somebody might have chopped his little nails too short 1,000 times.
Dickhead.
No, he's fine.
Where were we?
They're like children. You have to get to know them.
Fitness.
Go ahead. Just start talking about fitness again.
Should
As
I
a
kinda,
personal
like,
habit.
Pedal a little
Or
bit.
just be like, fitness is a part of my business habits or whatever.
Okay. So I know when I got into fitness, and I don't even know that this is something that I realized at the time, but it's always been a part of my life. But when I really started taking it seriously, I started changing my business because, and the gym teaches you discipline. So
Very
you're
true.
not going to reach any type of goal with fitness if you don't start going. And little things like that, like showing up, that's something that teaches you accountability to achieve your goals. You have to go. That's like a form of discipline. And then it goes on from there. Like as you get more into it, you start seeing results, you get more excited. The discipline becomes easier and easier. I think that's another thing too. People are always asking like about motivation. And I think motivation is bullshit.
Yeah, you're like, I don't wake up and like stick a
You don't
syringe
wake
of
up
motivation in my
motivated.
vein and
No.
all of a sudden it's there. There's like no, I think that's the problem too, is as much as people, I think you just have to know the game too. I think you have to understand that underneath like every wonderful Instagram and every badass successful person on Facebook that is killing it, like they're just a normal person that wakes up looking like a troll, that wakes up and gets their shit together, has created good habits that they fall along with, and then puts the best of the best out for the world to see. Like no one's actually their Instagram feed or their Facebook feed.
No,
you know what I mean? Like
not at all.
It's their job. It's just like you show up to your 8-hour job or you show up to your nursing shift for 12 hours and you work and you are a nurse for those 12 hours. But then like you get off and you're still you. And even with like lifestyle blogs or us as entrepreneurs or business owners, like we wake up and we're just us. But when you're doing your own thing and you're the only one who's like in charge of it, I think there's another element.
Yeah.
In it.
And I think 100% it's discipline.
It's choices. Yeah. It's
Totally. Motivation is always going to come and go. So
True.
You're going to go through cycles in your life where, and it's going to be in different areas of your life. Sometimes I'm more motivated in fitness than I am in others. Other times I'm more motivated in my business than I am in others. Some days I'm more motivated to drink a lot of wine than others. So it's going to come in waves, but it's that discipline that with your habits that you've created. That's what you're going to fall back on when the motivation isn't there. So you have to start small. Like sometimes I do not want to get up and go to the gym. Today, for example, 90% of the time it's just getting there. I will be like, I'm not even going to work out. I'm just going to go. Maybe I'll do cardio. What do I end up doing every single time? I work out. I have a great workout. It's getting there. It's creating that habit.
And I think for people like me too, who aren't naturally inclined to just like do what's best for me just because it's best for me, I think too, I have to learn enough times how shitty it feels to not have discipline in order for me to be like, I don't want to feel like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to feel disappointed in myself. I think the first promise or first commitment you should make to is yourself, because from there on out, you can start to make commitments to, other people and other facets of business or whatever. But I think if you can make a commitment to yourself and keep it, that's a good sign of like starting to create good things. And like you said, just getting up and doing stuff.
Right.
Like I honestly think like the public school system is very broken. But I do think there are parts of it that are good for people or children. Example, getting up and showing up every day. And I think, that essentially is training children to, and not everybody will have, a 9-to-5 job, but
But I think getting up early is one of the best things you could ever do for yourself. If you're struggling in any way with some type of starting a great habit, start with that. If you do nothing else, get up an hour and a half, 2 hours earlier than you normally would. Don't like just rush out the door.
Yeah. And like take time, like make your bed, like, cause it feels super shitty. I mean, you guys know, I'm always like running around like a chicken with my head cut off because I'm working on time management. That's like something successful people have figured out, is how to manage their time successfully. And that's the thing, is it's always a work in progress, even if you have other things down. Yeah. But I've learned that if I can give myself enough time to like make my bed or just do certain things, it just puts you at ease. Like
making your bed makes a huge difference in your
I
such a good
agree wholeheartedly.
Dylan, you're officially on the podcast, so just come on, jump on in.
Haley, Hannah, and Dylan with nice hair. Dylan actually does have nice hair.
He probably better hair than both of us.
I know. And better real hair.
I know, literally.
Ours is fake. That's why we get away with it being nice.
Dylan doesn't even need extra. I think that segues too into, speaking of Dylan, I think too, the more busy you get in any successful area of your life that you're focusing on, you kind of realize that you have to choose who you hang out with very strategically. Like when I had the idea to have a podcast, I didn't accidentally ask Haley to like take on this endeavor with me. I was like, Haley is such a good, positive, motivated influence. Why wouldn't I want to have her around? I mean, there was other people I could have asked, but it's like, you really have to think about who you spend your time with, because time is the ultimate resource. Money comes and goes.
Time, it's like the only thing you never get back.
Yeah.
So you have to seriously spend it so wisely.
Yeah. And so I think that, and that's a really, really hard one, I think, especially for women, is, making a conscious choice to let go of certain people in your life, or just choosing to.
I think it's hard for anyone.
Not engage.
Yeah, I think that's such a hard.
I don't know, girl. My husband ain't got any friends, and he's fine. He's like, I don't give a what. No, just kidding. He has like 2 friends, but like he's very like, those are his 2 friends,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a ton of friends.
No, I think you just have to be okay with losing friends, like genuinely, and not in like a sour, bitter way, not like a you did me wrong, deuces. Like it's just like things kind of settle and separate. And yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I've probably said this on our podcast before, but I do well when people like force their friendship on me. I think because I'm in my own little world and I'm super close with my family, you guys, like really, really close. And
which takes up the space of what friendships
of a friend.
could be.
Like somebody's like, so you wouldn't just call up a friend and be like, do you want to go to dinner? I'd be like, no, I'd call my siblings.
Yeah. Haley's like, no, I don't like friends.
Yeah. So
I think that's what's nice about you and I too. Haley and I don't live close together. So honestly, like our friendship is so nice because like it's not high maintenance. Like neither one of us are high maintenance friends.
No,
like neither one of us honestly even like being bugged. And so I think you have to find people that are not going to like drain you of your time.
Yeah. Like if I ever had anybody be like, I haven't heard from you in so long. Did I do something to upset you? Or like,
no,
we really need to start getting together. Like, bye. I'm sorry if you're that type of person. Like my favorite friends outside of my family are the people that I can go months without speaking to. And when I see them again, there's no hard feelings. There's nothing like that. Like I do not have, I don't want to make time to like, I don't know. And maybe that's like me being a shitty friend or person, but like I'll check on you if, but you're not, if you literally say to me like,
our friendship ends there.
I haven't heard from you in so long. I'll be like,
I can't do this.
You're never going to hear from me
ever again. Do you think we're a little psycho? Because like all we care about is literally either blood relatives, animals, or essentially business or making money. I
think you'd be on that scale that I'm on.
Dylan said his wife gave him, she's in psychology and like school stuff. And she gave him like a personality test and he said he literally tested on the spectrum of like psychopath.
He's like just shy of being a psychopath.
I was like, oh, wow. Do you think that's abnormal?
Sociopath.
Oh, excuse us.
What's the diff, Dylan?
Excuse us.
One doesn't know right from wrong. One doesn't give a shit.
He's like, I would kill you with a knife on one. And
I would know it was wrong.
I
wouldn't regret it.
Suffocate you with a pillow on the other.
I don't necessarily
I think about that sometimes. I'm like,
I think I just know what is important to me, so for me, like my family, they're the only people who have always been my constant. Always. Like friends come and go as like crappy and sad as that is, like they truly do.
Yeah.
Where my family, like and I've done a lot of like really shitty stuff, guys, trust me, that most families would probably be like, all right, we'll see you later. But they've just always been my constant. And I've lost a lot of friends. I've gained friends. I've lost them. So to me, it's like, why would I'm not really going to be investing my time with somebody that could potentially like not be there in the future. And it's not that I'm not like, I'm very, I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think I'm a very warm, welcoming person.
I think you're perfect.
Thanks. And I will like have a conversation, like, and yes, like we can be friends, but like, as far as like spending my time when I have that free time to spend with people, I'm always going to pick my family.
And I think you can make, when you're like me and you don't have a big family, you can over the years, like make friends, like my best friend, I would consider family because we've been through enough of that where like it's unconditional at this point. There's nothing I could do where we would ever disappear from each other's lives.
Yeah.
Because we're just so intertwined in so many ways. And I am close with my family. I just don't have a large family. But I think that even family members, I mean, I've had two, my dad had a very unhealthy like last several years of his life and I distanced myself from him.
Yeah.
So I think it's all very subjective when it comes to even family or friends.
No, I agree. I'm fortunate that I have a phenomenal family.
Haley family balance as fuck.
Yeah,
they're all like super fit and like literally.
No.
No, they really are. And also they're like, you guys have like the best genetics ever. They're all 10s. They're all super fit. Sweet. They're all really nice.
My parents are babes.
Yeah.
Like,
no, they really are.
Truly. They really are.
Like your mom
I could spend an entire podcast season just talking about my family.
Yeah. So
I reiterate, bring your mom.
Yeah. Haley's mom's awesome.
You guys, she does have to be a guest because one, you'll fall in love with her.
Yeah, she's precious.
She's an angel. I'll bring her. She'll have to take the day off work, but I think she'd be okay with it.
But I think even if you're someone who doesn't have like a great family, it is as important as it is to like cut out, say, a bad family member. I think it's important to maybe replace them with a super healthy friendship.
I like that you said replace.
Just well, you know what I mean? Like
fill that hole.
Yes. Just bring somebody else in and make sure they're smiling.
I think what we're both trying to say is the people that you surround yourself with are very important. What do they say? That you're the total of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right?
I always say if you hang out in a barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. So, like,
yeah,
if you hang around a certain group of people that act or participate in certain things for long enough, you're going to start acting and participating that way. And that can go both ways. So you can choose to hang out with super successful people, like I've chosen to hang out with Haley and other, people in my life, or, the opposite of that.
And it's just you want to fill your time with people who bring the best out in yourself, and you do the same for them.
Mm-hmm.
People who aren't afraid to tell you how it is, afraid to call you out, kind of. And those are the relationships that I appreciate the most, the people who are willing to have those hard conversations.
And who aren't.
Because you truly know that they care. They're not just going to tell you what you want to hear. Yeah. But I don't know, whether it's friends, whether it's family, you do need to surround yourself with people that not only are you lifting them up, but they're lifting you up as well.
Yeah. Stay away from like self-deprecating people or people who are just like, we don't have time for that. You know what I mean? People who are always like, I look gross today. Like, I'm just like, stop. So just choose to be around positive people who have good energy, who are really paying attention to maybe what you're doing. You're paying attention to what they're doing. And just have, like maybe the same mindset. I think too, I don't think we're psychos. I think we're just we're at a point in our careers where our tunnel vision is so like constricted that, and I think you and I both know that like our time is now to like have that tunnel vision. Like, years and years ago, I didn't personally have the discipline or the habits set up to be able to really focus in on the choices I was making or the habits that I was doing that were like bad for me. But now that I understand.
I wasn't like self-aware enough.
No, yeah.
Like I was just like.
Living your life.
Almost like going through life and like it felt like watching somebody else live my life.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Where it was like, you're just going through the motions. Like, and
it's like instant gratification. Like you're just like, I'm going to finish up this day at work and then I'm about to go like while out and take a bunch of shots. Shot. And then I'm going to wake up hungover and just chug some water and go back into work.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, you can do that, but like, is that helping you build something? Like, is your end goal to stay in the same place where you're at? Because like, those are the type of choices that are going to keep you where you are.
Also, if you don't think that, like, especially if you're a business owner or entrepreneur, if you don't think that other people notice that and associate that with you as a brand, they do. So I think it's important to be self-aware enough to be like, oh, I'm representing myself as a person. How do I want to come across? Now, you don't have to like wear a 3-piece suit every day and like fucking, have tea with the queen. But like, conduct yourself in a manner that you would be proud of if someone approached you as a prospective business, client. And be real. I mean, real people have fun and like,
Totally.
go out and, I mean, Bobby has fun. But, just be real with yourself, but don't get so like cray that you're hurting yourself and the talent that you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not a good look.
No. And
It's really not.
it's a waste of time.
Yeah. I think that's what it comes down to is you either get to a point where you're like, I want to move my business or my career or my finances ahead in such a way that I can't focus on other things that are distracting to that.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I was telling Haley, that's why I do not have Instagram. I don't have Snapchat. I love Snapchat. I literally think it's
That's why I don't watch TV.
I think it's so much fun. We both have our one thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have Snapchat. Haley doesn't watch TV because we've both decided for whatever reason in our life that those are distracting and take away from time that we could be spending not sucked into that, even though it's distracting.
It's so distracting. You guys, this is when I would like watch TV on a regular basis. I would put Netflix on my laptop and I would just like carry my laptop around.
I know it's
like while
We've
I was
all done it. We've all done it.
And then I'd take it upstairs and like while I'm getting ready, and then it would be like in my car, I'd be like playing it on my phone against my dashboard. Like, what? I'm sorry. Like for me, when I like realized what I was doing, and it was almost like crack. It was so hard to
it really
stop.
is. It really is.
But it was like, okay, I'm done. Like I have to stop.
Yeah.
And that's how I am. Like I will eventually have a healthy relationship again with like TV where I'll just be able to like wind
Or
down
not.
at night. And no, I will. Cause like I'm very extreme with things. It took me like when I started working out, it took me, I would say like 5 or 6 years to find a healthy balance where
You got real. She got that weird fit, that scary fit.
yeah, you like get super fit and then it's like, and then you fall off the wagon and it's like a roller coaster. And then you're like okay, so like, I'm not healthy with this. This isn't working. Where do I find the balance?
I did that with partying while you were being super fit. I was like super hit, like super wasty face.
So it does just take that, like, it's a journey, you guys. And that's the thing. Everybody's always so focused on like, what's the next thing? Like
Or they want like an agenda, like in elementary school.
You like, just take a day at a time. Like take the day for what it is. Like today we're podcasting.
But like you also have to, I think it is so important to get rid of any victim mentality you have. Like somebody owes you a plan to success.
Can we talk about
yes, hold on.
the victim mentality?
Yes.
Okay.
So stop thinking that someone is withholding some sort of plan from you and that other people have received this magic plan and it's just so unfair. Because you know what's so unfair is that you don't make a move to do shit. That's what's unfair to you. You have to get out of your head, take your idea that's right here, like leave the idea and actually get up and move your body over here. Like it is so frustrating when people just sit around and talk about shit. Well, I could do this, or like, I just don't know how you knew how to do this or that. And I'm like, I didn't know. I just started literally moving.
You have to, I'm going to talk about something here in a second, but you have to get it out of your head that anyone owes you anything. Mm-hmm. Like if you think you are owed anything by anybody, like shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It is so annoying. So I actually was like talking about this on my Instagram post because I had an interesting encounter with someone, and I'm not going to go into
I like
details.
the word encounter.
Yeah, I don't want to like get into like a lot of details about it, but
It's like my husband and I call our time relations.
so you're like, hey babe, you want to go have relations?
Sometimes.
Shut up.
Encounter's a fun word too, though. I could sub that in.
Yeah, I think you could work that in. Surprise him with it.
Yeah.
Change it up a little bit.
So sexy, isn't it? Relations.
It's very
When we have relations.
It's so like technical.
I know, it's fun.
Yeah. Okay.
It sounds like what, like the Mormon people who have like 15 wives, they're like literally writing on their counter. They're like, Martha, relations. Like that's her night.
Susan,
relations.
It is
Whatever.
very sexy.
We only have each other.
Can we talk about how friggin' stressful that would be?
Can you imagine
Dylan, some people
having
like it.
multiple wives, Dylan?
No, I would kill myself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard enough to have 2 dogs, honestly.
But like, think of it, because obviously
That dude's not fucking like emotionally with that many girls. You know what I mean? Like, but he comes and goes as he pleases.
Hey, come here.
Tell him.
Maybe Bobby had a couple wives back in the day.
I feel like he's been around the block.
Bob's a multiple bitch kind of guy.
He definitely is. Bobby. I love that his name's Bobby.
Me too.
I didn't name him, you guys. He came with the name and I couldn't change it. He's had it for 7.5 years.
It's my favorite thing that's ever happened in our relationship.
Yeah. He's so cranky. He's just laying on the floor, barking at nothing.
If you guys just hopped in on this episode and don't know, literally the person I look up to the most is like a not very well-known celebrity named Bobby.
Bobby Bones.
Bobby Bones, yeah.
I actually, when I was like, Hannah is going to love him automatically because his name is Bobby.
Yeah. So I'm like obsessed with him. No one ever knows who he is, but
Dude.
when Haley texted me and she was like, I'm going to pick up Bobby, I was like, the fuck? Who's Bobby? I mean, I know, like, obviously it wasn't like Bobby Bones, but I was like, this is
I thought I told
our
her.
day.
And
I know, I was
realized
so confused.
I hadn't said who Bobby was, so she probably really was like a cool. Like,
No, I was very interested, actually. I was very interested. What were we talking about?
Okay, no. So
Mormons.
we were talking
before that.
I have a thought that I want, or a thing that I want to talk about. Okay, so
Okay, 1 second. I know this is being recorded and recorded, double recorded, but I'm just nibbling on my little muffin and I'm doing it like so you can't hear it, but sorry you have to watch it. That's all I have to say. I know it's unprofessional. When we get big and famous, I won't eat on camera anymore, I promise. Okay.
you know what,
Until
Hannah,
then.
I just want you to always be you.
Oh, sorry.
I'm like on a
Practice
leash.
how you play. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. What'd you say, Dylan?
You practice how you play.
I practice what?
Practice how you play.
How I play?
Saying if you do it now in the minor leagues, you're
You're gonna do it in the majors.
Fuck that then. I'll just eat all the time. I mean, I won't chew gum. You practice how you play, okay?
I'm a gum chewer.
I would think it would be you play how you practice.
Same.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm just going to use extension training as whatever you want. Like, or for this example, but you can apply this in if you're not a hairstylist or if you are a hairstylist and you don't do extensions, you can take this and do with it what you will.
Whatever type of training that you're doing.
Yes. So for us, we went to MBR training, right? And when we went into it, they told us up front, this is going to be a lot of work. This is going to be really, really, really hard.
But we didn't understand that, I don't feel like.
Literally not
Sorry,
at all.
I'll shut up.
Yeah. You like have no idea what you're getting into. At least we didn't. So you go through the training and you come to the end of the day on the last day and you're like, what just happened to me? Where do I go from here? Holy cow.
You feel like throwing up and also you have no thoughts in your brain. It's the oddest feeling in the whole
Your
world.
brain is mush from just like taking everything in or attempting to take everything in.
I got shingles. I was that stressed when I left.
I wasn't that stressed. But I would be on the phone and everybody would be like, how is your time? And I was like, I don't
you're like this.
know. Can you just talk? Because
Yeah, no, I would call my
don't
husband. He'd be
know.
like, how's your day? I'd be like, uh-huh.
be like, it's good. I'm near the water in California.
And then you'd have like little mini like spurts of like, because Garrett was like such a like psycho in a good way. Like I like Garrett, but he was like such a psycho that he would like get into your brain and you'd be like, oh my gosh, like I'm about to change my life.
Yeah.
Like you don't even understand how good things are gonna get when I get home. And then like you'd stop and you'd be like, I got a lot to think about.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
So you get home and when you're not in your training and you don't have somebody to watch your every move and ask questions to, it gets hard. And there are like a couple different things you can do. You can either just be done with it and say, MBR's training sucked.
Which is what a lot of people do because
Which
it is
is what a lot of
frustrating.
people did and have done. And continue to do.
You get lost. And then you have no direction. And then you start questioning. You could be doing things in a B+, A- way, but you just start questioning it because you know there's a little something off, but you can't figure it out.
But so that's like one route. You can play the blame game or you can literally just like, okay, I'm making this work. Like I will figure this out. I will get good at this. It just takes time. So it was like sickening to me to listen to people who were struggling with extensions and listening to them say like, well, the training's not that good. The training's not that good.
Haley's literally the ultimate beast proof of this. She had no one else in her salon doing MBR. She came home and created a successful, I don't want to speak about your salary, but like a successful revenue within, months to a year of learning this. And she had no one to guide her.
But it was like, I easily could have just gone to the training.
Did Bobby fart?
I think he did. I think he did.
I was like, I have coffee breath, but that is not coffee.
Bless his heart. He can't control it.
Oh,
He's
gosh.
old.
I just, like, got, like,
I was like thinking it, and then you said it, so I think, and then I was like,
Lord
maybe it's
have
just
mercy.
It's just me. This episode, I'm sorry, you guys. We're like going straight, and then we take a hard left, and then we come back to the road.
Habits for success.
Habits. Okay, so you guys, it's not the responsibility of your trainer to make sure that you're successful. That's your responsibility. Of course, they're going to have a hand in your success. But they can't, they're like such a small part of it. They've given you the tools for success. It's up to you to get good at using those tools. So nothing irks me more when people just choose to sit and play the victim. Well, it's their fault that I'm not. Their training wasn't this. Their training wasn't that. Like, no, they are doing, like, they showed you, they gave you the tools. Take those and freaking work. It took me 9 months.
Success ultimately is a race against time, because you can either sit around thinking about why you don't have success, or you can start right now practicing and being super shitty at whatever you're doing. And it's ultimately who can put in the more time,
Agree.
The quickest.
Agree.
So if you want to be successful in a 6-month time frame, you have to practice every single day, whether
Like
it's with
double
NBR.
time.
Yeah.
It took me 9 months to feel confident.
And
in
the
NBR.
sooner you start that, it's like building muscle at the gym. If you want to go to the gym 2-3 times a week, like I'm doing just for strength training, that's fine. But I also understand it'll probably take 6 to 9 months for me to feel not like a Flappy McFlabberton. I could expedite that process by going to the gym 4 times, 5 times a week, doing the same small, interval strength training stuff, and I would tighten up quicker. Right. But it's like, I'm okay with my fitness outline, and that's like a choice I'm aware of. In business, nobody gives a shit that you're not doing good, and you don't get the right to complain about it when you're not taking the steps.
Because it's ultimately your fault.
Yeah. It's not hard. It's literally not hard to practice.
You just have to start.
Yeah.
I remember, and actually Ava told me this, and it has always stuck out in my head. I would come home, because at the time I was probably working like 4 to 5 days, sometimes 6 days a week. And so I would come home from a long day at the salon, and then I would have to sit and practice extensions, NBR, on a mannequin head at the dinner table. It'd be like 11, 12 o'clock at night. I would like put Ava to bed, and I'd be like crying. And she remembers that. And she made a comment to me. And I don't remember exactly how she said it, and I wish I did, but it was something along the lines of, well, Mom, like, where do you think that I learned my hard work? And I said, well, what do you mean? And she said, well, just with like doing extensions, she said, you were like really bad at first. She would know. I practiced on her. She's like, you were really bad at first. And she said, and you just like didn't stop. She said, even when you were crying, you didn't stop. And she was like, and you would work all day, and then you'd still have to come home and practice, and you just didn't quit even when it was like really hard. She was like, so of course I work hard. Like, you showed me that. Yeah. So like when she said that to me, you guys, like, it floored me. I don't know, it like rocked my world, because I never said a word to her about it. I probably complained a lot.
It's all in action. That's the thing is, talk is cheap. It truly is. So it just, I don't know. That brings up a good point too. I think that maybe we can wrap this up on is if you're struggling, I think especially as a mom or, anyone who has other people that need your time a lot, or other things, whether you have animals or husband or kids. This is a helpful tool that I learned that has served me really well is when I really started changing how I spent my time to try to move my business forward. I sat my kids and my husband down, and I was like, I know this looks this is going to look this way. I know this is going to look like I'm standing in the front room just playing with this mannequin head. I know it's going to look like I'm just noodling around on my phone and on Instagram all day. But what I need you to know is that I've made a promise to myself and to my business that I'm going to do a live or a story or whatever every day. So I need you to respect that decision. And when I tell you, hey, I'm going to go do a video, I need you to know what that means. That changed a lot for my kids because then they understood this is mom's work. Mm-hmm. She doesn't think it's cute. She doesn't even think it's that fun most of the time. Oh. And also her voice is really scary when she says this. So I'm just going to respect that. Mm-hmm. My husband's the same way. Like, you know, I think a lot of times family members can be like, get off your phone. You just, you know, like.
You're always on your phone.
Right. Spend time with me. But if you truly loves, you know, someone and you can sit them down and say, hey, this is the compromise I'll make. I won't sit around.
This is the promise that I made for myself. Like this is me being disciplined. This is my habit that I'm choosing to start or even to better my business.
Cut out like, hey, I won't get on Amazon and shop Amazon clothes for, you know, an hour every day. Like I'll cut that out. But I do need you to know that when I'm on my phone, I know.
He farted again. I'm sorry.
Bobby's on his phone over there. I do. Like, you just make it so clear to people. And then when you're serious and they know you're driven, then they understand. Also, I think that relieves some of the stress of that mom guilt, because I think we both have had that. Well, and I think a lot of women, even that are young and don't have families, like they have that societal guilt to be like tuned into everything all the time, you know, in real life. And it's like, no, when you're working, you're working. And if it's something that's moving you forward, like doing a daily live or doing stories or whatever, then like make that known and don't compromise on it.
Yeah. And I think too, like, I think something a lot of people are like, well, I just like, I can't afford time away from my family, blah, 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 blah. Like,
girl, bye, you can't afford to
you can't
succeed
afford
then.
Not to. Like you are, if there's a change you're wanting to make, there's a reason. There's always a why of why you want to change something, okay? Mm-hmm. And that is what you need to always keep in mind. Why do you want to change that? Okay, well, you need to make more money because right now you need to figure out how to work less and make more money because right now you are not spending time with your children, right? So you can't afford to not take those steps. And when it starts getting hard and when people are like talking in your ear and saying all this stuff, you need to remember why you started this in the first place. You started this because you want to be able to go to those after school events. You want to stop working Saturdays to like go to soccer games or whatever that is. Like that's what you have to keep in mind. So it's like you can afford to. You have to. You have to.
Everything is a choice and everyone has the exact same amount of time.
So don't be a victim.
Yeah.
Start good habits. We got so far off. Did we get off track with our habits talk?
No, I think essentially what we were hitting on is we can close on this because I think this is the biggest mistake. I repeat, the biggest mistake people make is they spend more time consuming other people's bullshit and thinking about making content.
Yeah.
And then by the time they actually sit down to make content, they're worn out, they're stressed out, and they're out of time.
Yeah.
And it's
we've said that so many times.
Makes me insane. Get off your feed. Stop looking at stupid blogging bullshit, Amazon fashion shit. I mean, I do it sometimes too, but it's like, stop creeping on somebody else's hair page. Stop looking at your ex-boyfriend's stuff. Just stop it. Fucking stop it.
Yeah, like use that time to start to put something out there. Like produce something of value.
Go outside, take a selfie. Braid your hair, take a selfie. Fucking
do a quick little tutorial video. Like teach
anything.
Somebody something. Create value in somebody else's life.
Or get on Pinterest and like Google like quotes that relate to you or something, and then like, you know, type it up in a cute little way and post that. Find a way to create something that identifies with your brand instead of clouding your brain with other people's like nonsense.
Well, and I think too, like, because a lot of people just don't, I think, know where to start. They're like, okay, so I want to do all of that. Like,
Yeah, that's a good. We can make a whole episode on like, are
think
you
we
lost?
should.
Where should you start?
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Huh?
What'd you say?
Where to start? Call Dylan.
Call Dylan. He'll save your life.
Yeah.
But I think a safe bet, just a quick little, like, if you don't know where else to start here. You have knowledge, right? We're hairstylists, so we know things about hair that the general public don't know. They seem like such common knowledge to us that we don't think, we think it's almost ridiculous to share it because we're like, everybody knows that. Everybody doesn't know that.
No.
Share things with people. Give them, like I said, give them value. Give them something. Teach them. People love to be taught things.
Yeah.
Like
even extensions. I had a consultation call this morning and the girl asked me, she's like, this might seem stupid, but like, how do I brush them? You could hop on really quick, start a live and say, hey guys, I know some people aren't really familiar with these or whatever. I'm going to pull my hair up and show you how I brush my hair. You can make a 5-minute video about that. And that's so helpful. The key is that you can't be like, whew, glad that's over. No, bitch, you got to make another one tomorrow. And then you got to make another one after that.
Yeah,
it's just never ending. But the more you do it, the more you do it, the more you're like, oh, I got to make another video.
And you just have to start. Nobody else is going to do it for you. No one's going to save you. You have to save yourself.
And if you are completely lost, go find someone that you really look up to that's not in the hair field, that's highly successful, and see what kind of content they're creating. And you will see that their Instagram or their Facebook is not picture perfect laid out. They have real life moments. They have good advice. They have things that intrigue you. They have a nice mix of videos and personal selfies. Like, people want to mix this stuff. It doesn't have to be.
We always end up back on social media.
It's because it's everything. Yeah.
Well, it's because, I think.
And it's a part of habits.
It speaks for us because that's how we both have built our businesses.
Yeah.
We've built it using social media. And you can. It's free and you can do it too.
So, yeah. Just also get on Pinterest and look up habits for success or habits of successful entrepreneurs. And you will find a gazillion, like, get up at 5 a.m., scramble some eggs with a dash of Tabasco. Like, find what works for you because it's going to be different for everybody. Also, don't drink so much alcohol. Drink more water. Also, don't, just eat until you want to throw up. Eat in moderation. There's just, some simple things that I think we forget.
Yeah, I think the important thing, to take away is just you have to start somewhere. And before you are diving face deep into a business, start with the little things like making your bed, getting up early, because those habits are just going to eventually become part of you being disciplined and who you are. That is then going to help you in every other aspect of your life, but especially your business, because when things start getting hard in your business, when you're not motivated, you already have the discipline to continue on because you know what has proven to be successful for you. And it's
start with yourself.
Those little tiny things.
It's starting with yourself. Take care of yourself, do what's best for you, because then you're prepared to move forward in your business and take care of other people.
Agree.
Girl, I know that's why. You better take care of yourself.
So sorry for the roller coaster. Not sorry, actually, but thanks for riding our roller coaster episode. We were everywhere today.
Do you think if someone walked in right now, they would be like, what is that smell? Do you think we've gotten used to it?
Yeah, and I think Bobby would scare them.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be smelly. They'd be greeted with a barking, growling dog, and then they would be like, is this a photo shoot or a TV show? Are you guys on the news?
This is a podcast.
They wouldn't know. So, all right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time. We love you all so much.
Make good choices. Bye.
Love you. Bye.